guys, it's me Kaustubh. So today I'm gonna show you how exactly you can containerize the application, okay? And we are gonna use Docker. So basically why we are containerizing it, because we don't have to go through the tedious installation of Python, Django, Java, anything, okay? So basically by using the Docker, what we're gonna do is like we don't have to install Python, Java, anything in our local system, but still we are able to run that application. Okay, so how cool it is, like you are not installing Python, Django, Java, NodeJs, anything, but still you are able to run that application. So yes, so basically we can make use of Docker in our academic project. Like every semester we have to make different project in different technology. Okay, so mostly we always, what we do, like if we have to make a Java project, then we do all the Java installation, set path and everything. Okay, and if you want to do Python, then again we do the Python installation. And then if it is a web application, then we go and install servers like Nginx, then Apache Tomcat. So we just install, and we might end up in, server clashing, the port number clashing. So like we have to go through a lot of tedious installation, right? So basically by using Docker, we don't have to go through any of the installation. Okay, so for that we just have to need one platform, one tool, which is Docker. So by installing Docker, everything is taken care of. So whatever application it is, so mostly Docker is well suited for the, I can say, web application, if you want to run web application. So yes, and you can, you can explore on your own what is Docker exactly. So I'm just going to show you how you can containerize any application without installing the Python, anything. So first we're going to start with Docker installation. Okay, so you can visit the official Docker website. So Docker docs, docker.com, from where you can download the Docker desktop for Windows. So basically it's just a graphical user interface where where it gonna show you all the images and container. Okay, so whenever I'm saying container, it means an isolated environment. Okay, for now just keep that thing in mind. Container means isolated environment which will be running in your local system, and which will be having the same operating system which your local operating system is having. Okay, so basically just think about that. And whenever I'm talking image, so think about image is the bundle up, like basically image is a collection of your application. Okay, whatever application you want to containerize is that image. Okay, so basically think of image just like this is your application. By running this image, your application will be live. Okay, just to keep things simple, I am telling you. So yes, so first we have to go through the installation. You can install Docker by installing Docker desktop for Windows. Okay, and this is the best practices for the Windows 10 Pro user. Okay, so basically after installing this, we have to do is, we have to run this to command. Okay, so basically this is the doc which have already attached in the description, so you guys can check it out. So you just have to run this to command in the PowerShell. Okay, and here's the exact step which is given how you can run this. So first we have to install Docker. After that we have to run this to command in the PowerShell. Okay, so this doc is attached to the description, so you guys can check it out. And after that what we're gonna do is, by just downloading the Docker desktop for Windows and running that to command, your Docker will be get started. And these are the best practices for Windows 10 Pro user. Okay, because in Windows 10 Pro we have that feature, Hyper-V feature, which is already there. And rather than any other operating system like Windows 10, any other version like Enterprise or any other version, they don't have that Hyper-V feature which is on. Okay, so it's not a big problem. You can just download the virtual box. Okay, so you can download the Oracle VM virtual box, and then you can set up a Ubuntu or any Linux operating system inside it. So it's not a big deal, you can do it. So these are the practices for the Windows 10 user. Okay, so okay, we're gonna make a Python Django web project. Okay, so basically I have one Python Django project which we're gonna containerize, and in my local system I haven't installed a Python, I haven't installed Django. Okay, so there is nothing else, I have installed nothing. Okay, so this is the student study portal. Basically this is the project which have, which I have made from the YouTube. Okay, there was a video on YouTube, so by watching that video I have created this project. Okay, so let's open this project with code. Cool. So yes, you can see I have already made a Docker file, but right now I'm gonna explain you how to make a Docker file. So consider this, there is no Docker file. Okay, so basically what I have done is I've opened the project. Okay, so basically for containerizing any application, first we have to have the project. Okay, the project should be a complete wholesome project. Okay, like you can get it from GitHub or any other website out there. Okay, so basically I have completed, I have made this project on my own by watching on the YouTube. And you can have any kind of project, so basically web application. Okay, if you want to containerize. So yes, so this is a project which is having every file, whatever the project, whatever the inside of the project is, so it is having everything. So make sure you have that folder of project which got everything. Okay, so yes, so this is my project which got everything. So now I open with this. If you want to containerize any application, first we require the base of the project. Okay, so basically this base of the project is Python. Okay, so my application is in Python, right? And for that, you have to require like what are the plugins, what are the dependency which your application are having. So basically we need that requirement.txt file. So basically for Python we have this file which is known as requirements.txt file. And if you are using some other application, like if you are using Node.js application, so in Node.js application there is a package.json file. Okay, and so basically in Python there is a requirement.txt file which will contains everything, the dependency, the plugin, whatever file, whatever dependency your application have used it. So that file, the requirement.txt text file will contain every dependency in it. Okay, so basically these are the dependency which I have used. Okay, so you can see there is a Django, HTTP, Mongo, and everything. So basically this YouTube search Python library. So basically on this dependency my application is depend upon. Okay, so yes. And for Node.js application we have a package.json file which contain all the dependency, right? So basically you don't get this file with your project, you have to create this file. So basically if you are having any Python Django project, the first thing you're gonna do is open your project in VS Code, and then you have to make a requirement.txt. So yes, so I have deleted that file. So basically let's make this file again. So you can see now there is a no requirement.txt file. Okay, and whenever you download any project from GitHub you don't get that file. Okay, so you have to create that file. So it's very easy to create that file. You just have to write one command which is pip freeze requi. So basically by writing this command, one new file will generated in the name of requirement.txt file, and that file will contain all the dependency your application is depend upon. Okay, so let's hit enter. You can see now this file is created. Okay, so yeah, so that's easy. And if you are having any problem by writing this command, because I've also installed pip in it. Okay, so that's why I'm able to run this command. Okay, and if you guys don't have pip installed, then you make sure you install pip to execute this command, because this file is important. Okay, you can see every what you can say, like everything is there, like all the dependency are in this file. Okay, so yes, so you have created a requirement.txt file, and basically this is a Python Django application. Okay, so now it's time to create a Docker file. Okay, because Dockerfile is must. Okay, so basically when you want to create any application, containerize any application, the first thing you're going to do is create a Docker file. Okay, so let's create a Docker file in this folder. So I'm going to click on plus the and Dockerfile, the syntax should be like, not the syntax, the name should be always, the D should be capital, because the name is case sensitive. Okay, so always remember by writing any Dockerfile, the name of the Dockerfile, the D should be capital. Okay, Dockerfile. So that's how you create a Dockerfile. Just you have to write a Dockerfile, D capital, enter. Okay, so we have created a Dockerfile. Now we have to write a Dockerfile. So basically it's very easy to write a Dockerfile. First I'm going to show you. So this is our Dockerfile. You can write it easily. Okay, so basically this is how a Dockerfile looks like. So you don't have to worry about, you can write by yourself for any kind of application. You can write the Dockerfile on your own. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna explain you, and after that we're gonna also look out for another application where we're gonna create our own Dockerfile. Okay, so basically I'm showing this to you guys just because to tell you guys, like to explain what the Dockerfile is and what the from work directory copy and what all this means. Okay, so first what we did, we created a requirement.txt file by writing this command. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you how the Dockerfile looks like and what are the content of Docker. So basically first thing we have wrote is, the first line is from Python colon 3.9. 6. Okay, so basically from Python means it's going to download the Python image. Okay, it's going to download the Python. Okay, and we don't have to install Python in our local machine, so that's why we are downloading the image. So basically this statement, this line means from Python. So basically this Python image, as I told you, image is a complete application. Okay, a complete application, you can make your custom image too, but this Python means it will have a Python install in it. Okay, so this will just install Python in your container which we are making. So basically from Python colon 396, it means this is a version. Okay, so it's okay if you just write this, if you just write Python, it will download the latest version of it. Okay, so it's completely okay. So after colon you just mention the version of that Python or anything. Okay, like Alpine is also there. You will having a question like from where the Python is getting downloaded. Okay, so what we are using, we are using Docker Hub. So basically this image is going to download it from a Docker Hub repo. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So this is a Docker Hub repo. So basically Docker Hub is like collection of images. Okay, it got every images, like every application. Now if I wrote Python, you can see Python Docker official image. So by clicking on Python you can see. So if you want to pull that image, you can just use this command docker pull Python. It means the image will be there. Okay, so Docker Hub is like a collection of images, whatever software, whatever application, whatever programming language you are into, you can download and install it from the Docker image. Okay, so you can see there is an version like bullseye, then there is an Alpine also. This is this, you can put it after the colon. So these are the things which you can put after the colon. So basically Alpine means compressed version of Python. Now if you just write Python, so it might be the Python image will be around 1 GB. Okay, but if you write like this, like Python colon and Alpine, which is there. Okay, you can check it out, whatever the like whatever the image version you want to pass. Like if you pass this 3 Alpine 3.14, it means Alpine means the compromise version, the compressed version. Okay, so basically the original Python will be around 1 GB, so the Alpine version will be around just 500 MB. Okay, I'm just telling you guys, fine, not exactly 500, but it will be the compressed version of the original Python. Okay, so we can also write just Python, or if you want to mention some specific version of Python, so you can just write by colon and you can mention the specific version. Cool. So second thing is work directory. Okay, so workdir app. So basically what we are telling this image is, right, work directory app. So basically we are creating this app folder inside the container. Okay, of course we're gonna run our application in a container, and as I told you, you don't have to worry about what container is. Just think of it as an isolated environment which is run which your application is going to run on. Okay, so this is just an isolated environment which having the same operating system which your local operating system is there, and it will be not in touch with your local machine. Okay, it's an isolated environment running, so don't worry about it. So basically your container is just like a container isolated environment. Okay, so in work directory app, it means we are creating this app folder inside the container. Okay, so now we have installed the Python, right? So inside the container there will be a Python already installed, because you have wrote this line from Python. It means the Python will get installed in the container. Now we need a folder, right, in that container. So basically work directory slash app, it means you're gonna create a folder in the name of app. Okay, so you can write any name which you want. So basically this will, whatever you write here will be the folder inside the container. Okay, so the next thing what is there is copy requirement.txt in app. Cool. So what does that mean? Like I'm copying this requirement.txt file into the app. So basically this requirement file from my local machine is getting copied to the app folder which is there inside the container. Okay, did you get it? So yes, so we are copying the requirement.txt file. So all this requirement is getting copied to the folder app which is going to be inside the container. Okay, so now we gonna do is we gonna install every dependency which is there. Okay, which is there in the requirement.txt file. So we have to install every dependency, right? Because we also have to install Django, and Django is also our dependency because our application is made in Python and Django. Okay, Django as in backend and Python as in front end. Okay, because Django take care of server, everything. Like working with Django was fun. Okay, because Django does everything for you. Okay, you don't just by writing a command, your server is ready and you got a nice interactive backend. It's cool. Okay, so if you like Django, you can go. And basically, it is also said that Python Django makes a good web application. Yes, and that's true. So yes, so by running, so after, okay, so we done with the copy. So now this line explains, this line means that, run pip install, we gonna pass this r flag and requirement.txt file. So basically what does it mean? So pip is in package manager for Python. Okay, wherever if you want to install any libraries of Python, anything related to Python, we use pip. Okay, you install Python, the pip gets installed with it. Okay? What is happening right now is, by running this command pip install, it means it gonna install everything which the requirement file has. So basically by running this command, and remember this command is running inside the container, not on your local machine. Okay, so everything which is there inside this requirement file will get installed by running this command. Okay, pip install that. Okay, so you got this. So now the next thing we're gonna do is copy dot space slash app. Okay, so if you are familiar with Linux, you know what does the full stop means. Okay, so basically dot means the current directory, but basically it is representing the current directory. So in which current directory we are in? We are in study portal. So basically this is the directory which is it is referring. Okay, so copy dot, it means copy the current directory students study portal. Okay, basically the study portal directory into the app folder. So you got it, guys. So basically we are copying the study portal, everything inside the study portal, the dashboard, the static, of course, because we require that file, we require every folder on that study portal, right? Because it got everything. You can see in static we got images, because that's the images we have used in our application. In dashboard, in templates, we got every template. So basically these are all the file which we require. So basically we are copying this, we are copying the current directory, the study portal, the whole folder and the folder which are inside the folder to the app. So we already know the app is going to be the folder inside the container, because we have declared it as a work directory. So we are copying everything to the app folder which is inside the container. Okay, and now next there is expose 80. So of course it's an web server application, so we require to expose a port, right? Because on that port number our application will be live on. So expose port, so it just for your understanding, it is telling that the port inside the container which the application is exposed is on 80. Okay, and even if you don't write this statement, this line, it's okay, but we write this for the good practices, for our understanding. It means that our application is exposed to the port number 80, but inside the container. Okay, and our container and local machine got no connection. Okay, they don't know each other. Okay, think of like, so you have to think like this, like our container, our isolated environment and our local machine, they don't have any relation, they don't know about each other. Okay, so that's how it is. And the last thing is cmd Python. So basically cmd, so basically in this line it's going to take an input in an array format. Okay, so basically we have to write a command which will run our application. So in Python, if you're not familiar with Python, it's completely okay, but in Python the application is run using this command, python manage.py run server. And it's okay if you don't mention this, I've just mentioned this port number just for our understanding, and it's completely fine if you don't mention it. So basically you have to write in cmd the main line, the main command which will run your application. Okay, so in python manage.py and run server, by by writing this command, your application will be running and it will be live on that server or on that port number. Cool. So yes, so this is how a Python file, sorry, a Docker file looks like. So it's that easy. You can see it just 13. It's just a 7-line file. So after writing this file, your application will be running in the container without installing Python and Django. Okay. So yes, so we have written the Docker file. So it's time to build the image, because after writing a Docker file, the second thing is you're gonna build the image, because image will have everything. It will bundle up everything, like whatever it was, whatever you have written in this, it will be get executed in the image file. Okay, so let's build a image. So for that there is a syntax called docker build. We're gonna pass the t flag. So basically t flag will refer us to the give the name to that image. So we're gonna put the image name as Python. Okay, you can put any name. So basically remember docker build, you have to pass the t flag just for the name of the image. Okay, so I'm gonna name that image as a Python Python project. Okay, so this is my image name, and then I'm going to refer to the Docker file. So basically currently the Docker file is in my current directory, and as I told you, in Linux what represent the current directory, a dot. So yes, so basically we have to give the path where our Docker file is located. So in our case our Docker file is in the current directory, which is a study portal. Okay, so just by giving a dot, it will take that Docker file and it will read that instruction from the Docker file. So Docker build, we are passing the T flag just for giving the name for that image, and then a dot. So basically dot will represent that current directory. There is a Docker file in a current directory, and it will read all the instruction from the Docker file. Okay, cool. Now let's hit enter. So you can see our image is getting built, and make sure after writing a Docker file you save it. Okay, control as it to save it. Okay, so you can see our image is getting built. Look, now it's running all the commands, all the packages which was inside the requirement.txt file. So now it is installing everything which requirement.txt file contains. Okay, so yeah, it will just take few minutes. It's installing everything. Okay, it's installing Django, whatever there was in the requirement file, it's installing. Okay, cool. Our image has been built, so let's check it out, the image. Okay, so for that we have to check, to check the list of the images which you have created, which you have built. So there is a command which is docker images. So basically these are all the simple command. Okay, you don't have to stress about it. So by just writing docker image, you will list the docker image. So basically this cosmic titan python, it was an image which I've created earlier. So you can see Python project, this was the image which we have created, right? We have given the name of Python project. You can see 23 seconds ago, and the size is 1.06 GB. So basically this image got everything whatever our application is required. Basically our application is, you can say, encapsulated into this Python project image. Okay, so now you have an image, you have created a Docker file, and after that you have built an image. Now it's time to run that image, so our container will get created and our application will be live. Okay, so let's run this image. So for that there is a command docker run flag p. So basically we have to mention a p because we have to map our port numbers. Okay, so basically on your local machine, on which port number you want that application to be live. Okay, so for me it's 80, and I'm gonna map this 80 port number to the 80 port number which is inside the container. Okay, so basically you just have to mention the port number where you want your application to be live. So basically before the colon, this is the port number which refers to your local host machine. So basically my local host machine, on the port number 80 the application will be live, and this refers to the port number inside the container. Cool. So port number 80, we have mentioned the port. Now we're gonna run this container in a detached mode. So basically always make sure you run your container in a detached mode, because these are the best practices. So basically what happens in detached mode, like after running this command, you will get able to get so basically after running this command you will able to use your CLI. Okay, so basically you will able to use your CLI in a background. So otherwise what happen, if you don't run the container in detached mode, so you won't able to use the CLI. Okay, you have to just close the CLI and again you have to open the new CLI. So basically by running it in a detached mode, you can use your CLI in the background. Okay, and then I'm going to use a tag which is RM. So basically RM is a tag which we use to remove the container as soon as it is stopped. So basically these are the best practices, and it completely depend upon your work. So basically I don't want that image or container in my machine, so basically that's why I'm using this tag. So whenever I stop the container will be get removed automatically. Okay, and then I'm gonna name this container by using this. So basically these are just the option. If you want to uh, build your container, run your container in detail, then these are the option you can use it. Okay, and if it's okay if you don't mention d flag, rm flag and name flag, it completely depend on you. Okay, so I'm gonna name this container as just a project. Okay, just a project. And of course after that you have to mention the image name, because yes, you are running an image to create a container. So basically you are running an image, so basically which image you want to run. So currently I have 3 images. Okay, of course we're gonna run this image because we have encapsulated everything into this image. Okay, so let's run this image. So what is the name of this image? Python project. Yeah, so that's it. That's the command docker run. First map the port number by giving the p flag 8080 detach mode, then remove, then name of the container will be project and which image. In the end you have to mention the image, so this is the image we have to run. So let's hit enter. Okay, now you can see our container is running. Okay, our container is running, our application is live in our local machine. Yes, it's running on the port number 80. So if you want to check, like just like you check your image, like these are the image, you can also check your container by writing this command docker ps. So this is the command will list down all your docker container which are running. Okay, so you can see in my case there is only one container. This is the image name and we gave that container name as project. You can see we have gave the name to that project or to that container as a project, so you can see over here. So yes, so now basically our application is live. You can check that application by going on your browser. So let's check it out, the application. So our application is running on the port number which localhost 80, right? So let's check it out. What's up guys? So you can see our application is running without installing Django, without installing Python, without installing any of the thing. Okay, our application is still running and you can see everything is working fine. Python, you can see. So basically this is a small project which I have made from the YouTube. So basically it's a student study portal where you can get to add notes, do homework and stuff like that. And you can see okay, so I have done authentication for that, that's why. But you can see the other APIs also. So guys, here you can see our application is completely working fine without installing anything. What we did was, let me summarize to you. So what we did, first we grab one project, okay, a running project with entire whole project, entire folder of the project. Okay, so you have to get that project first. Okay, so after that we have just created a docker file. So this is the docker file which we created, and after that we build an image from that docker file, right? After building the image, we have run that image and boom, our container is our we created the container and our project is live on the port number 80. So I know I have just explained you guys how you did this. So I know I have just explained you how to write a docker file and how you can containerize, but now we're gonna do it. So basically now we're gonna do this with another project which I have got. It is a simple project web application, a Node.js app. So where we gonna write the docker file and you guys gonna tell me how exactly I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's open this, let's close this. Okay, so our application is running, so let me stop this. I'm gonna show how to stop that. Okay, so our container is running, you can see. So now I have to stop the container, so I'm just going to write docker stop, and I don't have to mention the container name, I just have to mention the container id. And it's not necessary to mention the whole container id. You can just mention the starting part of it, like 9a. So I'm just going to do 9a. Done, our container is stopped. Now you can see docker ps, it's showing no container. And same as with image, if you want to remove that image, you can just remove it by docker images. Or you can see I have 3 images. Now I want to remove the Python project images, so I can just do docker rmi. And here also I don't have to write the image name, the whole image name, which is python dash project. I can just use the image id, and in that image id I just have to write the first two alphabet or whatever it is. Okay, so it's 7v, so I just have to write 7v. Okay, you can see the image is deleted, our container is gone, and after just doing docker image, you can see there is no Python project images there. So that's how you do it. Okay, so now let's get started with the another project. Okay, so let's close this, and this is the project which I want to containerize. I don't have Node.js installed in my system, so let's do it. So this is the folder of my project which contains everything what that application requires. So let's open this with code. Okay, so we have opened our file. So this is the project, Node.js project application, which is a web application. Now we're gonna containerize it. So how? first thing what we do, write a Docker file. Okay, so let's create a Docker file, and Docker file D should be always capital. Okay, Docker file, cool. Now we're gonna write the image. Okay, not image, now we're gonna write the Docker file. So first thing what we do is, like, what is the base of our project? Our base of the project is node, right? So let's write it from, so what is the base of our project? Node. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it as node. So basically it's going to download the latest node image from the Docker Hub repo. Cool. And the second thing is, now I'm gonna mention the work directory, like the folder which I want to create inside the container. Okay, so let's write work directory, and the name can be anything. Okay, so in my case we just gonna go with the name app. Okay, cool. And the third thing is we're gonna do is copy the package file in which every package is there. So in Node.js application there is a package.json file which will contains everything or everything whatever the dependency which you have used throughout the application. Okay, and in Python the same, there is also a same file which will contain all the dependency, but it is known as requirement.txt file. Okay, and in Node.js we got package.json file. Cool. So we're just gonna copy the package.json file into the this folder. So for that what we do is use copy which file, name the file package.json to the app file. Okay, so basically if you are familiar with Linux, you will get to know about all these commands. So basically the first parameter is always the thing which you want to copy. So basically copy package.json file, so it will indicate to this file which is in my local directory in my local machine, and then space, and then you have to mention where you want to copy this file. So I have mentioned app. So basically this is the folder which is going to be inside the container. Okay, so now you have copied. Now yes, of course, now what you're gonna do, you have to install everything whatever which is there inside the package.json file. Okay, so just like Python have its package manager which is known as pip, and in Node.js Node also has its own package manager which is npm. Okay, so we're just going to run this command, run npm install. That's it. We just have to mention this. You can mention the package file also, but just by mentioning run npm install, it will install everything. Okay, so yes, so we just have to mention the command which will install all the package. So in our case now we are using a node application. Okay, so yes, for node npm is used to install all its dependencies, so we just have to write those command node npm install. Cool. Now second thing what we're gonna do is we have to copy the every file which is there in our text directory. Okay, because yes, these are the important file. Okay, these are the important file which we want to copy. Okay, so basically we have to copy all this file which is there in our current directory to the folder which is there inside the container. Okay, for that simple command copy which file we have to copy, the current directory file. So we just have to mention the dot, because you know dot represent the current directory, and again space, and again one more dot. Okay, so we can also write this. So basically this means that you're copying the current directory to this current directory which is the app, or otherwise you can also mention, or you can also write by just giving the app folder name. Okay, whatever you are comfortable with, you can do it. So copy the current directory into the app folder, and you can also write the dot. Okay, the both are same. So this line and giving the slash app, the both means same thing. Okay, so yes, you have done. Now you have also installed package, you have installed every content which was there inside the package, you have installed that, and now you have also copied everything which is it was there in your directory to the app directory which is in the container. So now think, for our own better understanding, we always write this step which is expose to the port number 80. Okay, we want to expose this application on the port number 80 which is inside the container, just for an understanding. Okay, even if you don't write expose.80 line, it's completely fine, your application will be running. And now the last line, and we always know the last line will contain the statement, the command which will run your application. So in our case now we are working on a node application. So in node, if you're not familiar with node, it's completely okay, but in node we execute, we run our application by using this command. Okay, now I'm going to show you which command. So as I told you, the last line cmd line will be in a array format. Okay, so this is how the array format is, array. And for that we use node app.j or app.js. So basically this is the main file which contains everything. So in node application we always run that application by using this command, which is node, then comma, then again double quotes, and we mention this file app.js. Okay, so this is how we run our application in node. Okay, so yes, you can see we have wrote the docker file, and now you know what exactly to do. Okay, after writing a docker file, the next thing you're gonna do is build an image. Okay, so make sure you save this file, do control s, the file is saved. Now let's build an image. Okay, so for that we know the command. Okay, so it's that simple, docker build. We're gonna pass the flag t just because we have to give the name to that image. So we're gonna give that image name as just a node. Okay, node, and then we're gonna present the docker file. Okay, so in our case our docker file is there in our current directory, so we're just gonna do the dot. Okay, so docker build t node and dot. You can see our image is getting built. So basically from node, as I told you, it gonna install node from docker hub repo. Okay, which I have showed you. So basically this is a docker hub which will contain everything. It will have, basically it's a directory, it's a database of images. It contains a lot of images. You can type anything over here, whatever you need. Now I'm typing java, so it will show all the java images. Okay, you can see there is a node image, also tomcat image, so everything like jenkins and whatever you want to install, you can just go over here, you can install it from the images. Okay, so let's check out our, okay, you can see the image has been built. So for to check the image list, what command we use? Docker images. Okay, you can see our image is created node. Okay, 40 seconds ago. Now you also have the image. Now the next thing you're gonna do is run that image, and for that it's a simple command, docker run, and we're gonna map the port number. Okay, by the using p flag. So which port number you want to expose of your local machine? 80. Cool, 8080. So the first parameter is always the local host machine, and the second will be the container. Okay, so we have also mentioned the port number. Now we have to run this in a detached mode, and we don't have to give a name to this container. Okay, and yes, we're gonna use this tag remove because we want to remove this container as soon as it is stopped. Okay, and now the in the end what we mention is the image name. So what is our image name? Node. So after running the image, our container will get created. Okay, so let's hit enter. Boom, our container is created. And if you want to see the list of your container, you know the command. Okay, you know the command, docker ps. So you can see our container is created and our container status is up and it's running on the port number this, and we haven't mentioned any name, so it gives a random name. Okay, so there is a goofy pointers, so the docker will give any random name. So let's check out our application is running or not. So let's go to localhost 80. Boom, our application is running on the port number 80 without installing Node.js. Yes, I haven't installed Node.js, but still our application is up. You got this. Yeah. So how cool it is, guys. So you just have to write a Docker file for any application which you want to containerize, okay? And you don't have to go through that tedious installation and stuff, okay? So I hope you guys got the good understanding about what Docker really is and how you can make use of Docker in your academic project. Guys, now you have seen like how easy it is to containerize any application without installing a single software, single programming languages. Okay. So basically, first thing what we did is we containerize a Python application, Python Django application without installing a single thing. Like we are into this field where we have to make project every semester, and then we have to go through that tedious installation about servers, Python, Django, Java again and again. And I know it's bit of tedious process, and I really don't like to install anything, okay, like go through that installation process, and again on next sem now you have to make the project in next no in next programming language and in different technology. So it's kind of tedious to do that, okay, and it kind of lame. So basically you can now avoid this by installing just one tool, which is Docker. And of course, if you want to show your project, if you want to represent your project, you can do that by using Docker, and you can tell your guide project and whoever it is, like, yeah, I have used Docker, I don't have to install anything, and they might also get surprised because of it, okay. So yes, that's how you can make use of Docker, and believe me guys, it's very easy to learn. So you have seen it, like we just have created a Docker file, okay, and you can containerize any application. Just go to the GitHub and pick any project which is made in Python Django or which is made in Node.js, and write your own Docker file and see how things are working, okay. And you guys will get it, okay. It's very easy, you don't have to worry about anything, and you guys will rock it. I'm gonna mention every link in the description, the exact project if you want to practice with this Node.js and the Python project which I have shown you. So I'm gonna mention that exact project link in the description, so you guys can check it out and you guys can practice on your own. And basically now you got exactly what Docker is and how you can make the use of Docker very effectively in your academic project, okay. And yes, if you like this video, if you like the concept of Docker, and if you really want to make use of Docker in your academic project, you can do it. So yes, if you like it, like the concept how the Docker use and how you can make use of Docker, so if you like it, so please like, subscribe and share this video. So please like, subscribe and share this video, and yeah, share with this your roommate, your colleagues, everyone, so they also don't have to go through the installation, okay. So yes, and if you are really interested to learn Docker, to get a deep dive in Docker, so I'm gonna make a next video where I'm gonna give you a nice overview about a Docker, and I'm gonna mention every resources that I have used personally to learn Docker, because you know it's very overwhelming when you start a new technology at first. Like, okay, you are starting a Docker, but exactly you don't know what are the documents, what are the resources you should follow, and on internet there are thousands of resources available, okay. So it might be hard, not hard, but yeah, for some folks it might be hard to choose the right resources. So yes, for that only I'm going to make a next video on resources. It will be dedicated to the resources, like what are the right resources. And when I say resources, it's not a long list of resources, just one or two three courses which you have to follow if you are interested in Docker and if you want to get deep dive into the Docker, okay. So yeah, that's it. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe, and always learn new thing and keep on learning new things, and you got this, okay. So bye. So okay, and if you got stuck at any point or you need any help, then you can get in touch with me on my social, because I'm always there to help, okay. So yes, so keep on practicing, keep on grinding. That's it. Bye.